Right, moving on for the next disaster from the rain we had last night. I've got to sort the drive out again. So first things first, we've got to get this off and put this on. This is a box blade. Basically got these bad boys here for scratching up the soil, scratching up the stone. You can really rip into it then. And then it's got two blades, one at the back, one at the front. And if I adjust the top link and have it tilted that way, it's going to cut into the ground. If I have it this way, which is what I'm going to be doing today, it will cut a little bit, but it kind of spreads it out. And basically, as I drag this forward, all the stone's going to build up in here and then deposit it, cut it off the low spots, or the high spots. Cut it off the high spots and deposit it in the low spots. And hopefully this will dress the drive up a bit, and then I can go re-roller it again. Let's see how we get on. It might be a bit too wet today. I might have to wait till tomorrow because there's a lot of wine dust on my drive, and when it's damp it sort of clumps together and it doesn't spread out anything like you want it to. But I'll go and have a look and see how we get on. I don't know if you can make this out, but basically, let me kill this bad boy. The rain yesterday's all come down this side, so it's washed like a trench, and all the wine dust, quarry dust, whatever you want to call it, has come right back down to about this point here. So the plan, whatever this works like, is I'm going to try and drag this back up using the box blade, at the same time leveling it out, because it's got a bit of it's got a horrendous rut in here now. But like I say, this wine dust is a bit of a nuisance when it's sticky and wet, so it might be I have to come back and revisit this tomorrow, but we'll give it one go. Theory is it's not going to be any worse than it already is, so I'll try and do some one-handed stuff so you can get an idea of what it's doing when it's doing it. That's kind of the start of the process. I started back there. We haven't got much of a pile going on at the minute, but the dust is behaving, but I'm not really grabbing as much as I'd like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this side link and basically put a bit of tilt on that blade so it grabs more out of this side, all the while trying to not make the drive wider with every pass. So I'm going to wind this down a couple just to try and take a bit more out, so I can get some big sort of gullies going up, and I want to sort of get some material dropped in there, so I'm going to take more from this bottom bit and hopefully that'll work out, but we'll see. I've gone 6 turns down on that side link, and we'll see how that goes, see if that is a bit more aggressive with it. So I'm not cutting, I'm just kind of spreading. I don't want to get into redoing this, I'm just kind of touch it up so it's better than it was. There you go, got a bit more in the bucket now, or in the blade. This is the worst bit coming up. It's the steepest part of the drive. And it took the biggest hit, and I saw that bit, but lost a lot there. That's turned out better than I'd hoped. Turned out much better. What I'm doing now is I'm basically just backblading to try and get it a little bit flatter, and then I'll show it the business end of a diesel roller, and hopefully that'll sort this out. We'll see. Right, this is as it stands after just using the box blade. It's much better than it was. It's still a bit loose for my liking, but I'm going to show it the roller and see what that does. This doesn't do it justice how steep this is. When I get to about there with the roller, I'm going to be pushing it, because being a metal roller there's no friction and it doesn't like going up this steep slope, but that's going to be fun. It's nice and warm now and humid, because obviously the rain we had yesterday. Happy days. Here's the roller, a recent purchase just for this job. A bit of bling, that's out of necessity really. That basically diverts the exhaust to the side rather than pumping it straight down at the ground and kicking all the dust up, which I found on the first time. I ended up having to wear a dust mask. It was horrendous. However, that's that. There'll be more on that later, because the tank's full of shite and it's going to need lining somehow, so we might have a go at that in a later video. Right, let's get this thing rolled. I won't be doing this one-handed. It's a bit of a mission with two hands, to be fair, and I haven't got a GoPro yet. Right, let's crack on. Bit of a before and after. Obviously in the middle I haven't touched that yet. I didn't scrape it up too much, but that's kind of what it does. And what I found with this thing is some of these big stones, like this one here, it'll do two things. It'll either hammer it into the ground till it's flush, you don't kick it up, or it'll smash the thing to pieces. Either way, I'll take that as a win. Right now, I'm going to start struggling with this thing up this hill, and then I'll let you know how it goes. Here we go, finished article. It's not perfect. I don't claim to be a perfectionist. Anyway, it's a lot better than it was when I got up this morning. Hopefully you can kind of see this, but it's more or less back to where it was yesterday. It might be a little bit worse in places, in some places a little bit better. There we go. If you like this sort of stuff, like and subscribe. Let's see if we can't get the old subscribers up to double digits. I've got 4 at the moment, which I'm chuffed with. Admittedly, I'm related to 2 of them. Actually married to one of them. She denies subscribing, but how else could it have happened? It couldn't have been me. So she's obviously a fan, she just won't admit it. There we go. Not bad for a Tuesday morning.
Man, I feel amazing, being on this highlight every single day, and man, it's like a highlight. This is what I bathe in, excited because I know I'm going in places. Everything I want is coming to me, getting DMs asking how much for a feature. Tell them if it's right on my way.